Hi guys! Welcome to the next section of the course, Notifications using SendGrid and Twilio services. In this section, we will send an email notification to the end user and administrator of the website. Then we will implement email logging in the blob storage. Lastly, we will modify the email content to include an attachment. Now we move on to the first video of this section that deals with sending an email notification to the administrator of the website. In this video, we will learn how to create a SendGrid output binding and send an email notification to the administrator with static content. We will perform the certain steps before moving to the next section. First, we will create a SendGrid account API key from the Azure Management Portal, and then generate an API key from the SendGrid portal. For creating a SendGrid account, we first navigate to Azure Management Portal. We click on the Create New Service button and search for SendGrid Email Delivery Account in the Marketplace. In the SendGrid Email Delivery blade, we click on the Create button to switch to the Create a New SendGrid Account window. Then we provide the mandatory details. So first we fill in the account name, that is Azure Solution. Enter and confirm the password. After that, for the resource group, we need to select Use Existing option and a select group which we have already created in the previous section. In the pricing tier, we will choose Free. Then we need to fill required contact information. So, as we have created the test account, we will provide the first name as Test and last name as Packed. Enter the valid email ID. As we complete filling all the contact details, click on OK. Moving on to the legal terms, we will accept the terms and click on Purchase. After providing all the details, we click on Create button. Once the account is created successfully, navigate to SendGrid Accounts. We can use the search box available on the top and search for SendGrid account. We select the account that we just created. Navigate to Settings, choose Configurations, and grab username and SMTP server from the Configurations blade. Next, we generate the SendGrid API key. In order to utilize the SendGrid account by the Azure Functions runtime, we need to provide the SendGrid API key as input to the Azure Functions. We can generate an API key from the SendGrid portal. On the SendGrid portal, click on the Manage button in the Essentials blade of SendGrid account. This is just an email verification dialog box for security purpose. In the SendGrid portal, click on API Keys under the Settings section of the left-hand side menu. Here, in the API Keys page, click on Create API Key. In the Create API pop-up, we need to provide a name and choose API Key Permissions and click on the Create and View button. After a moment, you will be able to see the API key. Click on the key to copy it to the clipboard, as shown on the screen. Next, we configure the SendGrid API key with the Azure Function app. For that, first we create new app settings in the Azure Function app. We click on All Resources blade from where you can select Azure Function Solution app. Then we navigate to Platform Features section and select Application Settings blade. For adding a new setting, we enter the name and value of the setting. Lastly, click on the Save button. Let's execute the further steps. Now we switch our window to the Register User function and select Integrate tab. Then we click on the New Output button to add a new output binding. Here we will choose the SendGrid binding and click on the Select button to add the binding. We will need to provide certain parameters in the SendGrid output message binding. In message parameter name, we leave the default value, which is the message. We will be using this parameter in the run method in a moment. Next, in the SendGrid API key, we provide the app settings key that we have created in Application Settings. For the To Address field, we provide the email address of the administrator. And for the From Address field, we will enter the email address from where we would like to send the email. In our case, we will use this email address. Message Subject. We can provide the subject that we would like to have in the email subject. In Message Text field, we can provide the email body text that we would like to have in the email body. This is how the SendGrid output message binding should look like after providing all the information. Once reviewed the values, we click on Save button to save the changes. Further, we go to the Register User function, as here we will update the code of run.csx file. First, we will add a new reference for SendGrid. Also, we need to add the namespace that is sendgrid.helpers.mail. Then we will add a new parameter message of type mail with this line of code. After that, we will create an object of type mail by entering this line of code. Click on the Test tab and let's test the functionality of sending the email by navigating to the Register User function. We will have to submit a request with these test values, as you can see here. Lastly, click on Save to save the changes. Then click on Run to run the test. Here we can see the output status as 200 OK. The aim of this video is to send a notification via email to an administrator, updating that a new registration got created successfully. Now we navigate to the Mail portal and log in with our ID that we have entered in the To Address field of the SendGrid output message bindings. We will see that we have received an auto-generated email with the text message that we have entered while configuration. In this video, we have learned to send an email notification to the administrator of the website using the SendGrid service.